In the quiet shadows of a city alley, behind a bustling restaurant, a tiny life began. Amidst a pile of forgotten cardboard boxes, a small white kitten named Whiskers opened his eyes to the world. He never knew the warmth of a mother's love. She vanished when he was just a few weeks old, leaving him to face the harsh realities of street life alone. Survival became his only teacher. He learned the bitter taste of hunger, scavenging for scraps in overflowing garbage cans. He learned the sting of fear, hiding from cruel hands that threw stones and insults. He learned the art of evasion, dodging bigger, territorial cats who saw him as nothing more than a rival. His once pristine white fur, meant to be soft and fluffy, became a matted, gray testament to his daily struggles. But the gnawing hunger and the biting cold were not the worst of his hardships. The deepest ache came from a profound, crushing loneliness. Every evening, as dusk settled over the city, he would find a hidden perch and watch the windows of the nearby houses. He saw them glowing, warm and golden, like tiny promises of a world he couldn't reach. Inside, he'd see other cats, sleek and content, sitting on windowsills, their fur glossy, their bellies full. They were loved. They were safe. They belonged. And a silent question would echo in his heart night after night. Why not me? Why doesn't anyone want me? He was a ghost in his own life, invisible to the world, yearning for a single touch of kindness. Then, one gray, rainy afternoon, everything changed. A downpour had soaked the city, and Whiskers was huddled under a park bench, shivering, his small body trembling uncontrollably. Most people rushed past, heads down, lost in their own worlds. But not Sophia. At 8 years old, Sophia had a heart that seemed too big for her small frame. She noticed the things others overlooked: the wilted flower, the lost toy, the shivering kitten. Her eyes, wide and full of empathy, locked onto the miserable ball of fur under the bench. "Mama," she whispered, tugging on her mother's coat, "that cat is so sad. Can we help him?" Her mother hesitated, understandably wary of a stray. But Sophia wasn't waiting for permission. She was already kneeling on the wet, cold ground, her bright pink raincoat a splash of color in the dreary scene. She extended a small, cautious hand. "It's okay," she whispered, her voice as gentle as the falling rain. "I won't hurt you." Whiskers was conditioned to fear humans, to see an outstretched hand as a threat. But this small human was different. Her eyes held no malice, only a genuine, heart-wrenching warmth. For the first time, he didn't run. He stayed, frozen by a flicker of hope. That day marked the beginning of a patient ritual. Every single afternoon, rain or shine, Sophia would return to that same spot. She brought small bowls of food and fresh water. She never pushed, never tried to grab him. She would simply place the food down, sit a respectful distance away, and talk to him in a soft, soothing voice. She told him about her day at school, about the book she was reading, about her dream of having a pet. For an entire month, this gentle dance continued. Then, one sunny afternoon, the miracle happened. Whiskers, slowly, hesitantly, took a step forward and ate a piece of chicken directly from her hand. Sophia's gasp was pure joy. "He trusts me," she cried, tears welling in her eyes. Her mother, watching from a distance, finally smiled. "Okay," she said, "let's take him home." The transition to a home was terrifying for a cat who had only known the unpredictable chaos of the street. Whiskers' new world was full of strange noises, unfamiliar smells, and vast, open spaces. His first instinct was to hide. He found a dark, safe spot under the living room couch and stayed there for 3 whole days, a shadow in his own rescue story. But Sophia's patience was boundless. She didn't try to pull him out or force him to interact. Instead, she joined him in his world. She would lie on the floor near the couch, her chin resting on her hands, and simply be with him. She read her favorite stories out loud, her voice a calming melody. She sang silly songs off-key, filling the silence with her cheerful presence. "I know it's scary," she would say to the darkness under the couch, "but I'll be here until it's not scary anymore." Slowly, her persistent, gentle love chipped away at his fear. Curiosity began to outweigh caution. He peeked out, then took a tentative step. He discovered the glorious warmth of a sunbeam by the window, a perfect spot for napping. He found soft beds that were infinitely better than cold cardboard. He learned that hands could offer gentle pets and soothing scratches, not just threats. The gray matted fur began to give way to a soft, white coat as he cleaned himself, finally feeling safe. One evening, as Sophia was curled up on the sofa reading, Whiskers made his final leap of faith. He jumped onto her lap, walked in a small circle, and curled into a tight ball. And then, a sound Sophia had only dreamed of, a deep, rumbling purr. Tears of pure happiness streamed down her cheeks as she stroked his soft fur, a silent promise passing between them. He was finally home. But this wasn't just the story of a girl saving a cat. In a quiet, profound way, Whiskers saved Sophia too. Sophia carried a secret burden. At school, she was often teased. The same sensitivity that allowed her to see a lonely cat was seen as a weakness by her peers. They called her shy, a crybaby, and made fun of her for caring so much about animals. She never told her parents, bottling up the pain and feeling deeply misunderstood. But Whiskers knew. Animals have a sixth sense for sadness. When Sophia would come home from a difficult day, her eyes red from crying, Whiskers would immediately abandon his nap and climb onto her chest. He would knead his paws gently on her shirt and purr, a vibrant, comforting rumble that seemed to absorb her sorrow. One night, as he lay purring on her chest, she whispered her secret into his fur. "Everyone thinks I'm weird because I care so much." Whiskers responded not with words, but with a gesture of pure affection. He bumped his head gently against her chin, a soft, deliberate motion that said everything. In that moment, Sophia understood. Her sensitivity wasn't a flaw, it was her superpower. It was the very thing that had allowed her to see him, to be patient with him, to save his life. Her big heart was a gift, not a curse. From that day forward, something shifted in Sophia. She began to hold her head a little higher at school, no longer ashamed of who she was. She was proud of her beautiful, compassionate heart. Years passed. Sophia grew up, her bond with Whiskers deepening with every passing day. Inspired by the cat who taught her the power of empathy, she pursued her dream. Sophia became a veterinarian, dedicating her life to healing the sick, the abandoned, and the forgotten animals of the world, animals just like Whiskers once was. She had a special touch with the most frightened and broken ones because she knew the truth that Whiskers had taught her all those years ago, that sometimes the ones who have been hurt the most are the ones who have the most love to give. Their story is a beautiful reminder that patience and love have the power to heal the deepest of wounds, and that your kindness, no matter how small it seems, might just be the miracle someone has been waiting for. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the incredible bond between humans and animals. We'll see you in the next video.